You don't actually have a money problem. You have an issue of safety with money. And no one taught you how to feel safe with yourself or with the money that you have. That's why no matter how much you achieve, no matter how much you budget, you invest, you plan, you're always going to feel anxious and that something is going to happen where you're going to lose all your money or it's just not going to work out. I see this all the time with our clients and with myself as well. We push, 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 and sometimes things just don't work out, or they do, but we don't end up feeling the satisfaction of it. Now, for context, my name is Zaina. I am part of Women Who Invest. We are a platform dedicated for women worldwide to help them build wealth and sustain it as well. Today, I'm going to be using a bit of a traditional method to explain what I'm talking about, and it's going to be the pen and paper. Of course, as always, you can either treat this video as a podcast and just listen to it, or you could follow along on what I'm going to write about on the paper. And for more information about what we do, the events that we have, the webinars we host, and the programs we teach, you can check them down below. And without further ado, let's get started. So, most people think that if they just learn more about money, they budget better, they invest better, they earn more, then everything will finally click. But let me show you exactly what I mean when I say that this isn't necessarily the right path to go on. So, this is what people think the problem is. As I mentioned, you either have to budget more, save more, invest more, or earn more. But this is what's actually happening internally, whether it's conscious or unconscious. You're anxious, you have a fear of losing it all, you think it is not enough no matter how much you do, or you might be feeling unstable. So the problem here isn't just money, it's whether your body actually feels having it or not. Now let's go to why this exactly happened. So, what's going on in your brain? This is the logical part of your brain, all right? Your prefrontal cortex. This is the part that says, I should save, I should invest, and I should be more responsible. Now, this is your survival system, your limbic brain. And it has a very, very simple job, which is to keep you safe. So now you have two systems pulling in opposite directions, and that is what creates an internal conflict. So, this is the feeling of I know what to do, but I'm not doing it, and it can manifest in various ways. Because deep inside your brain, your amygdala or your alarm system is constantly scanning for threats, you start to perceive money as a threat. And if money growing up was connected to stress, conflict, instability, then your nervous system automatically learns that money is just unsafe. So, what happens next in this pattern? Something usually triggers you, like checking your bank account, or thinking about investing or thinking about having a financial plan, and then your body reacts. So you might feel tension, you might feel stress, overwhelmed, exhibit symptoms of a panic attack perhaps, and then you unconsciously look for relief. Now, this can look different for different people. So it can look like spending, avoiding, or just ignoring your finances overall. And this is the part that's really important. You're not being bad with money, but you're trying to return to what feels familiar because that is what your mind deems as safe. So the shift here is not just financial, right? It's moving from trying to control money to actually feeling safe with money. Because this is where most of your anxiety is coming from. You're trying to control the market, the future, the economy, and basically everything here in the outer circle. But instead of focusing on what you actually can control, which is your decisions, your habits, your awareness, your response, which is actually very challenging to do because you have to confront a lot of, let's say, negative beliefs that you deem as the absolute truth. So now we talked about why these things happen, how they can manifest, and how they can show up in your day to day life. So, what do we do about it? Now, I'm not going to overwhelm you with many techniques. or many strategies, except I'm going to give you something that is very basic and that is very doable wherever you are at whatever situation you're facing. So the next time you find yourself checking your bank statement or receiving a certain trigger that is causing any sort of anxiety about finances, I want you to pause, okay? As you're feeling this, pause and ask yourself, where do I feel it in your body? Is it in my chest? Is it in my throat? Is it a headache? Is it muscle tensions? And I want you to actively name it. And I want you to say out loud, this is not a threat. This is how I'm responding to finances. The reason for that being is that your unconscious and your unconscious mind are connected by voice. So when you're speaking out loud and you're giving a certain reaction a name, then you are claiming that power back to yourself and you're establishing awareness, which really is 50% of the work in order to overcome a limiting pattern or a limiting belief. So you have to name it out loud. And that is what's going to send signals to your nervous system to indicate that this is actually safe. You're not gonna die and you're not being attacked by a bear. You're simply looking at a bank statement and it's not gonna cost you your life. Now, this is like a muscle, right? So the more you train yourself, the bigger it grows and the better you get at it. And of course, this is just one strategy out of many. If you feel like whatever I said in this video really resonates and you want to look more into it, and you want to perhaps overcome certain patterns that you're aware of, or go through the process of uncovering patterns that you suspect are there but you're not really sure, then feel free to book a complimentary session with me using the link below. Essentially, what we're going to do is that I'm going to put you through a simple financial assessment. And that's going to help me determine 3 areas where you're really strong at financially, 3 areas of improvement, and 3 strategies you can implement completely by yourself. Of course, if you want to know more about what we do, and like I said, the programs we host and the complimentary webinars and events, then you can check out the links below in the description as well. And yeah, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments or feel free to reach out to us. And yeah, I hope you have a lovely day. Bye.